What's up guys, it's Jarrett with Cluster Duck Outdoors. Today I'll be going over an affordable / cheap turkey hunting setup. It's April 2nd here, so our turkey season starts in I think 10 days, it starts 12th, so yeah. So, difference between cheap and affordable according to Jarrett. Cheap is as low as you can go, is just, bare bones, it's not good quality, it's just getting the job done for the least amount of money. Affordable is it may cost a little bit more money, but you'll be able to use it season after season and it'll be reliable. That's kind of where I'm drawing these two instances from. Also, in this whole thing, I'll be, negating tax and hunting license because I don't believe the two things should exist. So there we go. And I'll be pulling everything from stores like Walmart and Bass Pro. Does that mean you have to shop at these places? No, I prefer shopping at, local places like Four Seasons Sports, or anywhere that's in your area. Four Seasons here in Goldsboro, great store, check them out. But if you live in wherever you live and there's not a Four Seasons Sports, find a local sporting goods store. Go support them, keep your money in your community. It's always a plus, small business, all the stuff. So in this made up world of mine, taxes don't exist and regulatory licenses don't exist. So take that in consideration. First things first, you're gonna need, before you can do any kind of hunting, you're gonna need a gun or a bow. But in this, this one we're only doing shotguns. If you hunt with bows, cool. I'm so proud of you. You're awesome. But I'm not doing that. I like guns. So we have the cheap side, we have the affordable side. And I'll, periodically film this, that way you can see it up close. On the cheap side, we're gonna go for the cheapest gun that, will get the job done. It would be the ATI Nomad for $100. Now, if I was gonna do that, I would at least save up a little bit more money and buy the Charles Daly, because you're talking about the difference between a 28-inch barrel and a 23-inch barrel. So you have that 5 more inches of velocity, powder burning behind the shell to get it out. Also, it just helps with distance. I don't know if it helps with the tightness of patterns or whatever, but that's my thinking behind it. I know a lot of people hunt turkeys with the short barrel shotguns. I'm old school in that manner. When it comes to hunting, I like the longest absolute possible barrel I can get. So I would go with the Charles Daly for $130, I think I got it right now, $132. $132. All right, so we have our cheap gun at $132. Next, we're gonna go for an affordable gun. Affordable gun, you could go with the Stevens 320 for $195. It's a 28-inch barrel, vented rib, all the cool stuff. I wouldn't do that, because I've never come, and I've hunted with a lot of people who have 320, and I'm not talking on these people, great people. If that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford, but I've never seen a Stevens 320 actually run for more than 3 shells. I know, turkey hunting, you don't typically need more than one, yada, yada, yada. I don't like thinking like that. I like thinking, what if? What if this happens? What if this happens? I want to know, that if, for whatever reason, I get nervous, shank my shot, the shell doesn't go off, I can cycle and go back to it. Now, in the cheap, if you went with a single shot, you're not going to get that luxury, but you're going cheap, and as cheap as you can. The affordable, we're going to go with the Maverick 88. If it was my money, I would go with the Maverick 88. There's been numerous videos online of durability testing and reliability testing, and they typically pass. Come about 500 plus shot shells run through it. Just torture testing these guns, they typically do pretty good. Several times I've seen the Savage 320s just take a dump. Ducks are flying in, bop. Oh no, it's not working, and then you have to mortar it against a tree to open it up to get it function. And then, do you want to be fighting that? Do you want to do that? And then you miss your chance, your opportunity, because you're having to beat your gun apart just to get it to operate. To me, no. So you could go with the $200 one, or for me, I would go with the Maverick 88 all-purpose 28-inch. It's the same specs down the line, but it comes in at $275. I know that's $80 more, but I think it's $80 well spent because you're getting reliability. So we'll do the cheap in blue. We'll do purple and green. So 200. Let me see. Yep, $5 bucks. Also want to mention that all these shotguns come with a threaded choke tube, so you may want to invest on getting a full choke. I would do it. I don't know that I'd do an extra full because assuming you're going to duck hunt and you're going to want to use this duck again in the fall and in the winter for duck hunting, steel is just going to tear those threads out of that gun or destroy the choke or God knows what. Shooting it through an extra full. So I would just go with a full choke, which is going to be more than enough to knock down turkey, which, depending on how close it gets, modified, improved cylinder, everything will work depending on distance. The closer the distance, the less choke you need, the better. Further out, more choke is needed. I shoot a full choke. I shoot a Kicks high flyer. I'll drop a picture of that in here right about now. Let's see that, and now it's gone. Anyways, Kicks high flyer, I think when I bought it, it was $80. I'll put the price in, but it's been a great choke. It's steel rated. Try it out, or don't. I mean, that's up to you. Next thing is going to be camouflage. Actually, I put calls, but calls is going to kind of be up to the user. In fact, no, we're right here. We're right now. We'll go ahead and do calls. Calls. You can get a call anywhere from. Nope, don't kill it. You can get a call anywhere from $5 all the way up to a push button call for $15. Now the $5 calls, you're going to have a mouth call. You can buy most mouth calls for under 10 to 15 bucks. I prefer a mouth call just because I don't have to have anything else in my hands. I can always have my gun ready to go, and I can still use my call. I'm not, I think this one was right at 10 bucks, power call. Might have been 7 bucks, I don't remember. Also, you could go, I think the cheapest one I found was a $30 friction call, slate call, whatever you want to call it. I made this one, the CDO calls. It's a slate over copper. Pretty easy, but once again, you have to sit there with both hands full. And I've had birds pop up. I mean, you'll be sitting here just, and then turkey's right here, and you're just stuck like Chuck until you can move. Sometimes it works out, sometimes you get busted. That's why I personally prefer a mouth call, but if you don't like a mouth call, because they can be aggravating to use, buck up to the $30 slate call. Or, really, if you don't know much about turkey calling, there's a push button call, and you can kill turkeys and kill turkeys and kill turkeys off of a push button call. A lot of people don't like them because it does seem too easy. So what? If it works, it works. Who cares? And they work. So that takes care of calls. All right, now that we have guns and calls done, let's talk about another essential. 3 essentials you got to have. Have to have a gun, you have to have a call, and last but not least, you have to have camouflage. You could go with the Temu setup. Temu'd camouflage real quick, and they had a ghillie suit for, let me look, it's 16 bucks. Is your skin gonna burn? Probably. Will it last through strong wind? Who knows? It might be the best camouflage ever. It might fall apart in the bag before it even gets to you. It's kind of the gamble you take. But once again, that's just as cheap as I think you're going to be able to find it. I'm sure out there somewhere you could go and find cheaper camouflage. If I was just dead set on spending the least amount of money I could spend, I would try to find a military surplus store or a Goodwill that sold M85 camouflage. Get some old 1980s Army fatigues, some pants and a jacket. That stuff's going to work great just about anywhere in the country. You're going to need shoes. Camouflage shoes, I would go with, you know, if I was going for cheapest of the cheap, if you got black tennis shoes, that's where you're gonna be. So I'm just gonna pretend in this situation, you already have black tennis shoes. If you don't, wait for the affordable reason, just apply that with this. But camouflage, on the cheap, ready to go. I don't know why I'm doing my finger like that, but I am. So we're gonna leave it in $15. All right, now the affordable. So once again, you're getting something a little bit nicer. It's not the nicest, not what's the Kui or the what's the other one everybody likes? That Sitka First Light or any of that stuff. It's gonna be. I went straight to Walmart, and it's Mossy Oak Obsession, and people have been hunting and using that stuff for years. Maybe not that direct pattern, but just your affordable Walmart pants and long sleeve shirt. And I would go long sleeve shirt just because I like to have everything covered as much as I can, minus gloves because I don't like gloves, and that's just a me thing. But yeah, pants, camouflage shirt, camouflage face mask. They call it a baklava. I thought that was a Greek dessert, but here we are. It's actually a face mask. We're gonna go with face mask. I think you should have a face mask, period, dot, when you're hunting turkeys. Some people don't, that's fine. Not knocking those people, but I do every time I go turkey hunting. Also, don't want to be out there in your New Balances, bright white New Balances while you're hunting turkeys. So go check out True Dave. They've got some, I think they're, look, it's unisex ankle rain boots. But you can get them in camouflage, so they're waterproof, and they're $39. And if you use Quacker 15, you get, I think it's 15% off. You get something off. That's a promo code. Yeah, use Quacker 15. Helps the channel out, helps you out, helps everybody out. But yeah, $39 for rain boots, ankle rain boots, and they're camouflage. All right, so you got your camo set up, you got your face mask, your shirt, your pants, your True Dave boots, and if you use that code, you can get them for even cheaper. But let's assume that you don't use the code, because that's how I did the math, and that's what I'm going with. It's $94 for camouflage. 94. So, big jump from 15 to 94. Reason being is, you're going to be able to use the affordable set again, and most likely, as soon as you get done wearing it that day, the cheap set's going to be ruined. All right, now we're going to get into the nitty gritty of where this price starts stacking up. And you have your shot shells, your decoys, your bags, thermocell if you want it, which you don't have to have, but I would suggest if you hunt turkeys, I don't know if they have mosquitoes up north, but anywhere in the south, I would have a thermocell. These are the things that start adding up, you know. You say, well, I've got my setup here. This is the bare basics of what you need. You really can't turkey hunt without any of this. I'm not saying you can't turkey hunt without camo, but you're really going to want it unless you have a blind. And then you have the cost of a blind. So, you know, don't nitpick me too much on this, but this is the bare essentials of what you need. Plus ammo. I didn't figure that into this, but ammo is going to be into the other. So, the cheapest ammo you can get is low brass, just target load stuff. You can buy for $12 a box. Can you kill a turkey with it? Sure, I've done it myself. Do I suggest that? No, I don't. Cheapest I've been able to find here lately, and I don't even know if they make this anymore, is Remington Premier Magnums. It's copper plated buffered magnums. Don't know what a buffered magnum is. You get 10 shells, and it's max gram, 2 3/4, number 4 shot, and 12 gauge. Pick those up for $16. That's as cheap as I have ever seen turkey shows. I've never seen them cheaper. The opposite end of the scale is your TSS loads. I will always hunt with TSS as long as it's legal and they make them. It gives you so much further reach. Some people don't like that, and those people are called idiots, and that's fine. You can't help how they feel. Oh, it's cheating. We'll go back to hunting with a bow and arrow you made out of a stick, Grandpa. I'm going to use technology to my benefit. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're so dumb. That covers that. All right, now that we have ammo taken care of, we're going to look at decoys. Decoys, you don't have to have it, so on the cheap side I didn't put it. On the affordable side, I did add it because sometimes a decoy does help you. You don't have to buy the most expensive ones. You don't have to go full pull and have a couple of $100 invested in, the best decoys that's ever been invented. I've hunted with a $13 Pursuit foam decoy. It's a hen look back, I believe. It comes on its own stand, has a wing nut, and it can move as the wind kind of pulls a little bit. Or you can take it off the stand and lay it down and make it seem like it's getting bedded by a Jake. All of these things. You could do that all day for 13 bucks, so why not do it? So added that to the board on the affordable side. Also a bag. Do you want to have a bag? You don't have to have a bag, so I didn't put it on the cheap side. I did put it on the affordable side. Some people like turkey vests, and they have different pockets for different calls and extra shells and whatever they want. I personally despise how they feel on my body. It makes me feel like I'm getting, arrested or detained. Don't like it. So I carry a backpack. I went to a sporting goods shop, bought a $15 camouflage bag. Don't know why I keep doing this with my hands. That's weird. Anyways, went to a sporting goods store, bought a $15 bag, and I can put water, nabs, different calls, shotgun shells, a thermocell in my bag, all these things. Now, I'm not putting a thermocell on the list because there's probably states that God loves more and they don't have mosquitoes. And those places are called heaven on earth. So if you live anywhere else in the United States, like we do here in North Carolina, or when I lived in Florida, or when I've hunted in Alabama, or any of the other places I've ever even just visited, they have mosquitoes. And a thermocell is a godsend, especially when you're trying not to move and you're trying to be still and quiet, and mosquitoes are trying to pull your ears off your body. So if you don't hate yourself and you have an extra 30 bucks, buy a thermocell. If you don't have 30 bucks, I fully understand. At least buy yourself some kind of bug spray of some sort. I don't like spraying chemicals on my body, but also I've done it before. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and mosquitoes will drive you insane. And you probably could, mess up your whole turkey hunt by doing that 10 times in a row, because a mosquito will get right here and just try to, make his whole life right there, and it sucks. But yeah, that kind of covers it, guys. This is not a full extensive list of everything you should or could have. It's not covering seats. It's not covering, I saw this special camouflage and it's magic and you can do jumping jacks and the turkeys won't see you. It's not covering all that. This is the bare bones minimum that's not going to last you probably more than one season. This is the buying some value. You could get in for more expensive or cheaper, obviously, but this is kind of getting you in that sweet spot where it's going to last you a little bit of time and make your hunt not so undesirable that you hate yourself. All right, now that we have everything listed out, let's do some math. My favorite part. Drum roll, please. Believe it or not, the cheap list is cheaper. It comes out to $167. That's for a single shot shotgun. That's for a $5 mouth call, assuming you know how to use it. That's for $15 worth of turkey shot and $15 worth of camo. I definitely did those two backwards, but it's the same price. It comes out to $167. It's not including sales tax. Cheap is cheap. Just gets you out there. And you can kill turkeys like that, guys. Don't be deceived with, everything you see online where you have to have the nicest of the nice, or you can't kill anything, or if you're not toting a Benelli in there, you're not going to be able to actually kill it. Dead is dead, and that Charles Daly with one of those Remington Premier Magnum 2 3/4 inchers right to that turkey's dome at 30 to 40 yards, and the end, smoking it. You're smoking it. That turkey's not getting away. That part is just as killed as if you're using the TSSs out of the nicest Benelli or Beretta over and under shotgun you can find on the market. That turkey will be just as dead. That being said, you get into a nicer setup, you get a little bit more reliability, you get more than one shot, you get further distances, you get corrosion resistance, stuff like that you don't think about sometimes when you're eating those bread sandwiches and you're just getting by. I get it, but you spend $132 this year, and then you go out there and it rains while you're out there and the gun rusts up, then what are you going to do? It's just things to think about. No shame in it, just things to think about. Another thing to think about is the mouth call. You go and buy you a mouth call, you go out there and you practice and you practice and you practice, you get okay at it, that's fine. If you go out there and buy a mouth call, you pop it in the first day of turkey season, you go out there and realize you don't know how to do it. Go out there and realize you don't know how to do it, that's a problem. So yeah, $167 gets your foot in the door, gets you out there, gets you active, has you having fun. Stupid bird. Has you having fun, good times. The affordable setup. You're talking about a Maverick 88. You're talking about, I'm about to go turkey hunt that mockingbird outside. The affordable setup has you at a Maverick 88. God bless. That bird's gonna drive me nuts. Guys might just have to hear it. Anyways, Maverick 88, pump shotgun, 28-inch barrel, $15 call, push button call, or you could get any other call under. I know you can get I don't know what these kind of calls are because I don't use them, but you can use them. Those or any number of mouth calls, several mouth calls. You can buy probably 2 or 3 mouth calls for $15 if you're okay with using them. Camouflage is just the long sleeve shirt, camouflage pants, so mossy oak, whatever it was, camouflage shirt, camouflage pants, and some True Dave boots, and then that camouflage will last you a good couple of years, especially if you wash it and take care of it. Then you get into your other. Your other is your ammo. You have to have ammo. So you got I went with $80 TSS because that's how I like to hunt. I like to party. I enjoy killing things. And if it increases my chances of killing it and it's legal, 100% going to do it. $13 decoy. Why not? I just listed off the things of why not to do that. And then a $15 bag because honestly, I can sit in there longer if I have water and a snack. If I want to use a different call, I have options. If I want to carry my thermocell, and you can go in there and you can stuff your pockets full of all kinds of stuff and walk into the woods, and it's going to be a fight. Or you can pay for a $15 camouflage backpack, or even just a black backpack or a green black backpack, and throw it out there, and you're good to go. All right, so with all of that listed, that brings the affordable setup to $492. So $500 for a shotgun, camouflage, a backpack, a decoy, all kinds of stuff that's going to last you multiple seasons. Now, I'm not saying that the stuff on the cheap side of the list can't last you multiple seasons. I'm saying it's unlikely because of the nature of its building. The shotgun will probably last you as long as you oil it and keep it in good shape and you didn't buy a lemon. Sometimes when you get into those Turkish shotguns, you kind of get into the little iffy zone of, is it going to work, is it not going to work? But if you come over here on this side of the list and, you spend quite a bit more money comparatively, but in the long run, it lasts you longer, so you don't spend that same money year to year to year. That's kind of what this list is all about. Just kind of shows you, have you turkey hunted before and you like turkey hunting? I would go with the affordable list. Have you never turkey hunted before and don't know if you'll like it? I would go with the cheap side of the list. If I'd never done it before and I went out there and I absolutely hated it, I'd be ill that I spent close to $500 on gear that I'm never going to use again. Versus if I spent $167, that would make me angry. But I've spent a lot more money on things I've hated, in the past. Versus if you know that you like turkey hunting, maybe you grew up turkey hunting, your friends go turkey hunting, you went with them and borrowed their equipment before, all things I've done, and you just don't have the money to get a nice setup, go with the affordable setup. There's nothing wrong with that. You could get into that Maverick 88. You can take it turkey, dove, deer, duck, bear. You've just bought a firearm that can, you know, meet nearly, and I'm not going to say all because you have some stuff you need rifles for, but nearly all of your hunting needs. You could raccoon hunt, possum, squirrel, rabbit. I don't know if fox hunting's legal. I've never done it. I'm sure somebody could do it. You could coyote hunt with it. There's some guys that are braver than I am that sit in the middle of cornfields with coyote calls, and they'll run up within 20 yards of them and they'll blast them. You could do that. So that shotgun will last you. And not saying that the Charles Daly won't, but you're limited to what you can do with it because it is a single shot. Not saying you can't duck hunt with it, but let's say you have 3 ducks fly in, you have 1 shot, you whiff your first shot. Guess what, buddy? Those ducks are gone before you breach it. Throw one in there, breach it back, hammer down, shoot. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. There's some people that's way faster than I am, but buddy, you're working yourself to death. The other side of it, you have the Maverick 88, or even if you just hated yourself and you wanted to buy that Savage 320, that's not going to last, and let's assume you got a great one and it does cycle and you can ducks fly in, boom, chop, chop, boom, chop, chop, boom, and then you're good to go. Those are all things to consider, and obviously any of these combinations will work. Maybe you like duck hunting, but you don't know if you like turkey hunting, so you buy this shotgun that you know you're going to reuse, but you're not sure if you want to stick with the turkey hunting, so you stick with this call and that camo because, you know, you don't want to go buy a whole new set of camo for turkey hunting, I guess. I don't know. I use the same camo all year round. I use mossy oak bottomlands, but that's just me. I have Kuiu stuff, but I didn't buy it. Somebody gave it to me. And maybe you want a bag. You can use your decoy bag from duck hunting, turkey hunting, obviously. But yeah, all of these combinations interchangeable. So maybe you like this setup, but you don't want to buy TSS, so you stick with the $15 ammo versus the $80 TSS. You just save yourself, what, $65 right there. There you go. Affordable, still can work. And I can't say enough, and I didn't add it in, but 2 things that I personally wouldn't go turkey hunting without is a full choke and a thermocell. I'm not going turkey hunting without those 2 things because one increases my odds of getting a turkey, the other one increases my odds of getting a turkey and me not going insane from getting eaten to death by mosquitoes. Those are just things, you know, you get with time and experience of doing it. And obviously, guys, you could go the used route. You could go to your pawn shops and find you a $100 pump shotgun or double barrel or possibly a semi-automatic, but I don't know that I'd trust a $100 semi-automatic. But you could go to a pawn shop and find you a nice $100 shotgun. Probably in the same pawn shop, you could find you some camouflage for $20, and then you just have to find you a turkey call. But let's say you went in there, found you a $100 pump shotgun, and you found a set of army fatigues for $20, pants and a shirt, and there you go. You're $125 in. You can do it cheaper. I'm talking brand new prices. This is without sales tax because tax is theft, you know, obviously. And this is also not counting your hunting license, which is also, to me, theft, but I don't make the rules. I just have to live by them, you know, kind of thing. This is just kind of wet your whistle, get your foot in the door, get you an idea of what you're going to need to go turkey hunting. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope this is at least giving you a few things to think about. Don't get discouraged, and I hate when people get discouraged by the price tag of stuff, and I understand that. A lot of us have been there. Thank God I'm getting on the other side of it. I still have times where money's tight, but I do have more money than I did when I first started out, so I'm able to get a little bit nicer equipment and a little bit nicer stuff, so hunting is not as hard for me, or I wouldn't say it's hard, but at least I have a little bit more reliable stuff. But yeah, don't let the price of things discourage you from doing something that you'd love to do. There's ways around it. Don't say, well, I'm not going to go turkey hunting because I don't have $2,000 to spend on gear. You don't have to spend $2,000 on gear. You don't have to spend $500. That's still a hefty price. And you don't really, if you really shopped around and was clever, you don't have to spend the $167. Just don't be discouraged, guys. Think about it, shop around, look, see what works for you. You can do it cheaper, you can do it more expensive. Biggest thing is I don't want people to get discouraged and stay out of just a good and fun of a hunting experience as you can have. There's nothing like having a turkey, 20 yards out just letting loose, and you're just pumped up and you're waiting, you're set up, and then he pops out and you're able to just fold him up. It's just, one of the best feelings. Like I said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching. Leave us a comment, leave us a like, follow us on all the stuff, and we'll see you later.